He's the nearest one to drop down.
Yeah! Come on! Come on! Oh my God!
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Proper Football Show. The lighting behind me looks like I've got a bit of fog in the room, but I haven't. Right, so in a week where we've had the transfer window close, Men in Black actually means something in football now, not just in Hollywood. Robots are going to join the men in the middle. What's all that about? There you go, look at that picture. They literally are for the World Club Cup that Chelsea are playing this weekend, I think it is. Robots are going to be involved in decision making. Come on, what's going on there? Mad. And more in a solemn mood. Since our last show, obviously, little Isla Caton has been laid to rest, and me and Dan went to the funeral, and we'll be talking about that in literally a couple of seconds. So let's bring the boys on, shall we? Simon, Dan.
Hello.
How you doing? How's your week been? Simon?
Hello, boys.
Yeah, not bad. All good. Good result for Rovers on the weekend, so it all sets it off well.
Good. And
Yeah,
Dan, you've had a good week?
Yeah, it's been all right, mate. I had a week's holiday, so bit of time off, doing lots of work at home. But and yeah, also met you at Isla's funeral, which was a very solemn day.
Right. But we both attended the funeral, along with Stevie Guy, who joined us last week, and I know he's on now. So hi, Steve. How you doing?
Hello, Steve.
Yeah. What can you say? What a send off for little Isla.
Yeah, it was
emotional, heartbreaking. Not a dry eye in the room, you could say. Massive turnout. I think we got some photos of the flowers, which were, well, Dan, that's the Millwall Teddy. What a, yeah. I mean, this is their bitterest rivalry. I think we got some photos of the flowers.
Yeah.
And, yeah, look at that. Amazing.
Yeah, beautiful. The flowers were amazing. There's so many people there. And, yeah, like you say, I was flooding up. Well, we wouldn't. And it was,
yeah. It was a sad event, but just beautiful. The outpouring of love that was there. I think Tottenham laid a wreath there. Millwall. I mean, you got to understand, folks, that West Ham Millwall was a really, really bitter rivalry, and there's been an awful lot of talk about how blown away West Ham have been. But yeah, so Little Isla ain't going away, by the way, folks. We're going to hear a lot more from Nicola and everyone else involved. There will be legacy, so we'll watch this space. Isla will never be forgotten. Right, okay. What we got in store for you on tonight's show? Well, we've got a bit of a dodgy show. First and foremost, we're supposed to have the Worldston Raider on, Gordon Hill, but like he's done to me on a couple of occasions in the past, disappeared. Gone AWOL on me. So there we are. No Worldston Raider tonight, and our other guest can't get on.
He is. He's there.
He's here? Oh, yeah. Brilliant. Well, we'll get him on in a minute. That's Alan from the Valleys, but we'll talk more about that shortly. No, what we got in store tonight? We've got Allan Jones coming up, Cardiff City, and the proprietor of Awayday Apparel clothing. We are then going to be obviously talking to Allan, and then second half we're going to be looking at clubs in turmoil, plenty of them: Derby, Rochdale, Birmingham. We're going to be looking at, yes, it's here again, fourth round of the FA Cup. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about Middlesbrough fans' unhappiness at the Man United ticket pricing, and I completely agree, but Dan will tell you more about that later. Transfers, any transfers that caught your eye? A couple caught my eye. And then we will be, because Gordon was supposed to be on, we are going to focus on the National League, because obviously Wealdstone being in the National League. So we'll be focusing on that tonight, and then whatever other topics come up. Got a treat for you at half time. We're not going to be doing the bands anymore, mainly because of the risk of copyright. Well done, Facebook. But no, what we are going to be doing is putting up a little, so we can have a little bit of a break and a bit of a half time in this. We're going to be putting up a little quiz. You're going to have 5 questions. So just play at home. Don't go on Google. Answer the 5 questions. Then when we come back for the second half, we'll make sure, first of all, these two with me know the answers. And then obviously we'll give you the answers. Right. Okay. So let's see. We've got a few people on. Gareth Williams, how are you? We have a fellow Welshman in the room. Cupyard Dave over there in Ireland. And Stephen, welcome on board over there in Ireland. We're going to build up a big following out there. I can feel it in my bones. Vicky, well done for coming on. Nicky as well. Right, without further ado, from the Valleys, it's not Tom Jones, but not far from it. Allan Jones.
How you doing? Guys, how you doing?
Are you any relation to the man himself or not?
Oh, I've listened to everyone who says he owes him a fiver. He's related to everyone.
Right, who's going to translate tonight, chaps?
Yeah, sorry, guys. I'll go slower.
You're gonna have to slow down, son.
We got some subtitles coming up.
Yeah. Oh, God, good luck with that. Yeah.
Allan, it's lovely to see you, mate. Not seen you for a little while now.
Yeah, been a while, guy. Birmingham.
Yeah, so we'll talk all about you. But before, what we'll do, we're going to bang a few questions at you.
Oh,
so I'm going to kick off with Daniel and fire some questions at the man, mate.
Yeah. Why have you got a plant growing out your head as a first one?
It's grown out my ears, that is.
Yeah.
Right, Alan, nice to meet you, mate. I spoke to you on the phone before, but never seen you in person. Got a few questions for you, mate. What was your first ever game? Football match?
That's a tough one. I think it was Bristol Rovers away, I think, at Eastville. So I think it was 81, 82, something like that.
Yeah.
Back in the day, my dad used to drive coaches to away games. So inevitably, I sort of got the bug of, just where's my dad going? Where's he going? And he took me along once, and it's fair to say that that was it. I didn't look back. So, but don't enjoy it anymore, but I did then.
No, yeah. I think we're all the same. I think.
Exactly.
Best away day, Alan?
Does it have to be with Cardiff, or can it be like, we've had a few trips to New Wembley. I mean, that was brilliant. For me, one of my favourites was obviously being Welsh. We don't get these major tournaments very often. So our first game in the Euros in France against Slovakia in Bordeaux, just to be there for that anthem and a win, that was one of my favourites. But Roma Lazio, believe it or not, that's one of the best games I've been to for a few years. Oh, right, yeah. A few West Ham lads, I know Gary knows a few of them.
Is it Rome Derby, is it?
Yeah, we went to Rome Derby with Lazio lads. They sorted us out with tickets and everything. That was like, it's still football over there. It's not commercial. Do you know what I mean? It's still an enjoyable experience. Like, so.
Last one from me.
Sorry, go on. I was just saying, West Ham have got a bit of a thing with Lazio. Yeah,
they have. Yeah, and ironically, when Rome and I was Southampton, and the only trouble I seen over there was West Ham and Southampton fans. So it was quite funny. Like, yeah.
Last one from me, Alan. Best ground you've ever visited? You might have answered that already, but
does it? I don't know.
I didn't mean Bristol Rovers by that.
Yeah, no.
Eastville was lovely.
I gotta be honest, and a lot of people have said you're mad saying that, but my favourite I've been to in this country, believe it or not, is Coventry City, the Ricoh Arena. I don't know what it is about that place, but I mean, I've done most of the others, but that place, I don't know. Maybe because it says CCFC in the seats, I don't know. But no, it is. It's a nice ground. It's a shame that Coventry have had the shit they've had over the years because, they've been pushed from pillar to post by bad, mismanagement from their owners. But that, for me, that's one of my favourite. I mean, I went to Barcelona a couple of years ago, and you got people walking past you with extra large buckets of popcorn like this, and all these fans, and I thought, that's it, football's dead for me. But yeah, Coventry's one of my favourites. I've yet to do this new Tottenham Stadium. I mean, by all accounts, that's something else. So I'm hoping that I can wangle my way there this season at some point. So
yeah, definitely. Thanks, Alan.
So
Alan, just jumping on that.
Yeah.
You say what stadium Coventry you on about? You on about the old
the Rico? No, the Rico, the new one.
I used to like Highfield Road. I must have.
Highfield Road. That was a nice ground.
Yeah.
Traditional. But that Rico, I mean, it's a picture, the seats, everything about there, the acoustics in there.
It's different. It's very different.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Good to see him back there, isn't it now?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely. And like you say, another we're going to be touching on. Simon's going to be touching on clubs in turmoil after the break, and quite frankly, that is another disgraceful situation where again the fans are suffering. But anyway, that's later in the show. Simon.
Yeah, right. Couple of questions to me, Alan. Your most memorable moment.
Good or bad?
No, that's
I think for me, I don't know. I mean, we've had loads over the years, but I think beating Barnsley in the FA Cup semi-final and realising you were dreaming going to an FA Cup final, that for me was a special day. And when Wales qualified for the Euros, do you know what I mean? Things like that, and being able to take my son, to one game over there when we beat Belgium 3-1 in Lille, things like that, it's priceless. I can't see us doing it again. Do you know what I mean? So
I watched the Johnny Owens documentary about it's brilliant. Yeah,
that was good. Yeah, I went to the premiere of that actually, and I arrived fashionably late as I always do. And as I was walking to my seat, I fell on Neil Taylor. Remember the one who's played for Villa? He was sat there, tripped over his missus' bag and landed in his lap. So that went down well.
What's your most disappointing moment?
You're like me, guy. Clumsy one. Yeah.
What's your most disappointing moment, Alan?
Always, every time we lose to Swansea. But I mean, that's happening all the time now. I'm learning to deal with that. I think the way we lost to Liverpool in the Carling Cup final on penalties, because we deserved something out of that game. And also when a mad owner of ours changed us to red for our first season in the Premier League, that divided our club beyond recognition. So that for me was a massive, disappointment. So follow Cardiff City, mate. I get a disappointment every Saturday. So it comes as part of parcel.
Yeah. I thought you might have said leaving Ninian Park, but
no, we needed it. Do you know what? It is a good point. It was a shithole, but it was our shithole. Do you know what I mean? And we identified with the place.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe, but we had to move from it. Do you know what I mean? It was clear they weren't going to spend on him. To progress as a club, we needed to move. So, I just wish that they'd put more thought into the new place because not for me.
No.
Who's your favourite ever player?
Mine.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say Peter Whittingham. I'm gonna say it because do you know what I mean? But there's been a few over the years. Can I just give a shout out? I don't know if you saw on social media last week, ex-player of ours, and he's close to being one of my favourites. Kevin McNaughton. There was some worrying posts he put on Twitter the other week. There's obviously issues going on there. I just want to extend my best wishes to Kev from all of us. I'm sure the wider football community will join in and say it's good to talk, lads. If you're struggling with things, don't bottle it up. No matter what background you come from, share it because I spoke to Kev by text since that. It was a week today actually, and everyone was worried for him. And thankfully he's on the mend. But just say big shout out to Kev and anyone who's struggling. It's good to talk. So
absolutely, absolutely, and. Mental health. We've been on the subject in the past, and people like Jasper Thompson, speaking to them, and I think it helps anyone watching this show seeing seeing grown men, lads, you know, and we've had some proper lads on here, you know, coming on and talking about it. We've, you know, been in some deep discussions live on air. None of us are scared to talk about it, but those that
you
are,
got to do it.
they've got to talk, and that it's not nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing, you know. There are big, hard, really tough lads out there that are open up and talking. You know, it's not, you know, you're a braver man to talk about than you are to hide it. Get out,
Exactly,
talk,
I think so, yeah.
you know, and let people help. You know, let people help you. And we're always open to anyone. Want to reach out to us, reach out, you know. Actually, I must touch on the fact that our text line saying reach out, and then I'm telling you, the text line ain't working tonight. Long story, but I'm going to
It's probably my fault, mate. I got a knack at
no, it's my fault. I'm a phone down, I'm afraid, because of leaving it on the roof of my car and it falling off along the M25. There we are. But yeah, so no, that's definitely a subject I think we're going to be covering a lot more. Just another one, folks, if you wouldn't mind, please share away to all your friends and family. Please get this show out on there. And a big shout out to Paul Younger, who's joined us as well. Shout out to Nigel Callan. We'll tell you a bit more. He's coming on next week. Ex-Watford Villa, under 21s with England and Derby. But that's a bit more in the show about that for next week. But welcome and hiya, Nigel. Doing well. Just coming back onto the Cardiff thing with you, Alan.
Yeah.
Interesting about that whole changeover with the red. I mean, that was a fiasco. I mean, it really was.
Yeah.
And again, we've had a lot of discussions about owners that really, I don't believe, understand what the football means. We've come into the show on a video of a Sunday League team that you probably see it, and the keeper going up for a goal. Simon, can you remember who the sides were now?
No, I think Danger Man for that. Do you remember Dan?
Danger Man. Sorry to put you on the spot, chaps.
no, I think Simon's your man for that.
No, Alan, do you know that?
Well, that's one of the quiz questions.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I won't watch it, mate.
I mean, you know, it was a local derby, I know that, on a Sunday league, good old Sunday league football that we forget about. And that video shows the passion that's in football. And you know, I mean, just look at the show. But what an amazing by the goalkeeper. Well, that man. We must get him on the show to talk us through the decision to go up. But no, point being is this, and I'm just interested to see if you agree with your club going through all that shit when they did. And I just don't think owners these days, or the hierarchy in the world of football, have forgotten what football means to people. To fans. Simon's going to touch a lot more on this in the second half. But where Cardiff are concerned, a blatant, I think, were Hull going to do something stupid and all, weren't they?
Yeah, they were, yeah. Tigers, weren't they?
I don't think they understand that history is inbred from generation to generation. Some of us might be dinosaurs and lived in a different world with football. But that passion...
That's how the club has evolved, isn't it?
Children, you know? And I think
the thing with our owner, guy, what it was is just they're from the Far East, and they say red is a lucky color, and he was just trying to market us to the Malaysians and the Chinese and whatever. And I think after that fiasco, I think that they adopted that red kit, and I think, don't quote me on this, but I'm sure that they ended up giving thousands of them away to charities, and they only sold about 20 in any of these Far East countries. Do you know what I mean? But I just couldn't buy one, and I was appalled when a lot of my friends did. But you know what? Hey, no, I'm not falling out with someone over the color of a shirt. I personally didn't buy into it, and I still don't like the badge we got now with that dragon. It looks like the dragon off Mulan, a little Disney dragon, doesn't it? At the bottom. But that's the Cardiff City badge. That's our badge.
Yeah, with a bluebird on it. Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
But I gotta be honest. No, that period of time is split our fan base, and I know a lot of mates still not speaking over it. And I just listen. I'm a bit older now. God, we all had him. We all fallen out with friends in the past over something stupid. We don't own the club. We just we're not fans anymore. We're customers, and I think that's been lost in modern day football as well. We're not fans now. We're customers,
mate. That is a powerful statement. We are not fans anymore. We're customers.
Yeah,
That
Right,
is.
though.
I like that. I like that. I like that.
We don't have a voice anymore. We don't have a voice at football.
No,
anymore.
no, we don't.
The only voice you got is not to turn up. Do you know what I mean? You can say what you like. You look at the banners Birmingham had out at Derby on the weekend, and all, you know, the march that they did in Derby against these owners. The only way to stop these owners is on your feet and don't go to the ground. Stop spending money.
Lower league football, mate. That's the way to do it, I think. You know, go and support your local clubs.
Yeah.
Just on that, we've had a message come up there from a Paul Younger. Hiya, Paul. Good evening, mate. Went to see Cray Wanderers recently against Cole Shelton. I probably didn't pronounce that right. I'm never good with a name. He
Cole
put it up
Shelton.
there for me. Yeah, a fiver to get in, and Cray 3-1 down at half time, and Cray won 5-4 in injury time. 300 in the crowd, but amazing. So much passion. You don't see it in the top six when I'm there at the Palace. Dan,
Wait.
he's a Palace man.
I think I know Paul actually. Yeah.
Is it? Does he wear a black jacket? Does he wear black everywhere?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
No, he definitely doesn't know.
What they call the
Homesdale Ultras, isn't it?
Fanatics.
Good. Fair play. They generate an atmosphere, don't they?
They
do. Fair play.
Yeah.
Enough about
But
Palace.
I mean, Gareth's put some out there. I tried a few games of the rebrand to red, didn't feel the same. Took a while to get it back into it after changing back, but agree with the badge too. So a fellow Bluebird there agreeing with you, my old China. He also mentioned a bit earlier, actually, he put a message up saying Blackpool in the playoffs was another massive appointment.
See, the thing is, apart from when we beat Barnsley in the FA Cup semi-final, every time I've been to Wembley's been shit. So I just say every time I've been to Wembley except that one, they were all disappointments, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's like...
Can I just pick up something that Alan said about the fans need to vote with their feet and not to go? But in the Premier League now, I don't think they're even bothered about filling the grounds because of the money they generate from.
Yeah,
it is. And I know a lot of our own games at the moment, they'll say the attendance is like 18,000 or something like. There's no one there, but they've sold season tickets, haven't they? So you know, but like there was trouble at Bristol City a couple of weeks ago. The toilets got smashed up. I don't condone it, but I mean, it happens now and then. But Cardiff now, they put in £1 on every ticket for every away game for the rest of the season in order to recoup the money. Right? I'm just thinking, this is where does it stop? Where does it stop? They're just taking or £1 on a pint. It's like, come on, give something back, you know?
Yeah.
Nah, it's mad, isn't it? So Alan, look, obviously Cardiff you love and you know, been there, seen it, done it with them. And you love your football. And you turned your attention to your own clothing brand, another brand called Awayday Apparel. What made you get into all that? Yeah, we'll talk more. Hey, look.
There's another one. I won't go into. I can't go into too much detail, but it started when I got divorced, as most things do. I'd come up with the idea a few years before, and the clothing industry is ruthless. So I naively went for a meeting with a company up in Worcester called, I won't say who they are because I'll be digging them out, just about setup costs and what I needed to do. I mean, I had the logo designed and I had loads of ideas, but so I went to this place with my hands in my pockets and not having a clue what I was entering into. And basically they try committing you, if you want something done, minimum quantity of 100. So and then you're thinking, well, 6 different sizes, there's 600 pieces straight away. By the time they come out, they're talking about $8,000 or $9,000 just to get started. And then that's before any marketing. So I shelved it in a nutshell. That was a long time. And then 2017, I found myself homeless actually for 7 months, and I lost my job at the same time, and I just thought, you know what, it's the right time to do this now. So I had about 700 quid left in my bank, and I worked out a business model that worked for me so that I could do it without these astronomical setup costs and whatever. So I started contacting people around the country. We all know the faces. If you go on my website, you'll see there's a Rogues Gallery section. And
I think we've got a few that we can put up, to be honest.
Oh, don't put him up.
Swansea player.
Yeah, Cass.
Boatsy.
The boats are. But like, you know, Eddie, he had a new one off me last week. Actually, do a podcast with Simon. So
Mr. Owen. Eddie's
that's one of my
interview for
favourites.
us, actually.
That's one of my favourites.
A legend.
Yeah, you know. See, ironically, that's a spin-off of one I got on now. So.
And we all know this next fella.
Here he is.
Oh, who's that?
I wonder.
Who's that? Mr. Guy, you're back on again this week.
Is he? But no, I sent emails out and I built up a profile, you know, a bit of a sort of stature on social media, and this I was launching on it. I think it was October. I don't know. It was 2018. It was a Friday night in October, and I just like, you don't know what I was going to be received. So I had 4,000 followers and whatever, and I thought, right, everything's going live at 6 o'clock. Didn't sleep the night before, panicking, thinking, well, this is my last roll of the dice here. Now I gotta be honest. Don't think for 1 second I've made money out of this. You know, listen, my ambition when I first wanted to do this, I just thought I'm going to come up with a brand, and I thought if I get one person to buy a T-shirt off me, I've achieved it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Mate, sorry, I'll just interrupt you there, mate.
Yeah.
We know you don't make no money. You know why, don't you? Because you give away more than you sell.
I do give too many away. I do. But hey, that's me. Listen, give us gain, and that's what I've always. Do you know what I mean? Give us gain. So, but no, it was scary, the launch, but it went all right. Then then it died off because it was just club color T-shirts and stuff. So lately now, I've been focusing on more sort of. I want to do like more music based stuff. So if you have a look, I've done a few adapted. Yeah, there it is. Like for example, there's a few with like references into like Stone Roses and that sort of 90s era. But I've always said from day one, you know, I want this brand to evolve with people buying into it as well, not financially. So if anyone wants something, speak to me.
That's me. Sorry.
Oh.
I've seen in the comments and it's made me snort with laughter.
What's that? Okay.
Sorry,
what's that? What's he doing with his hair? Steve loves a free T-shirt.
Steve loves a free T-shirt.
Who's that? Gaio. He's had 2.
Oh, he's had 2.
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Oh, he loves anything free.
Put it up on the comments. Steve loves a good T-shirt.
Yeah, he loves anything for nothing. Love him. But no, I met them like after the first started. I don't know if there was a guy who was involved with me. It's only because of COVID, really. He's not now, but there's a guy, A.D. Wollaston. Now, A.D. is the guy that was behind Mastrum and the relaunch of Bonneville, and he's worked alongside. He's worked for, you know, he was head of design for Timberland. He's been head of design for North Face. So when I say got into bed, you know what I mean. I sort of got into bed with AD and we were banging ideas back and forth about outerwear and stuff. But then COVID has come, and that's had a massive impact because predominantly I'm selling T-shirts and stuff, and you know people buy them on holidays. No one's going anywhere, so. But I've just been ticking along, you know, I'm building it. I sold something last month, or about 2 months ago, to some guy in Nepal, and I'm thinking, what the fuck have you heard about me in Nepal? Do you know what I mean? And he didn't pay for track delivery either. And then I had an email about 3 weeks later, where's his T-shirt? And I thought, mate, I didn't get into this. So I just refunded him the money, and he messaged me the other day, it's arrived. So I don't know if a pigeon has picked it up or something, but it's taken about 6 months. But brilliant.
So is that what you want to do, getting into outerwear and that as well, are you?
I'm going to do it. I had plans to do it. I'll keep the designs close to my chest because there's somebody from another established clothing brand that were based in Wales. I said, let me send you the designs. He said, yeah, send them over and we'll have a look. We'll get it. I'm thinking, nah. Because the second I do that, I'll have a Weekend Defender bad. Oh, did I say it? Yes.
Yeah.
But,
I guess who you were talking about anyway.
But no, it's definitely AD and I designed, and you know, there's some little twists in here that have, you know, the AD's speciality was outerwear. Obviously, like I said, he was head of technical outerwear and head of performance outerwear for Timberland. So he's really done, the real polar expedition parkers and stuff like that. So we come up with new pocket closure designs and stuff like that. So there's one design. I did it on a podcast before. It was like on cargo shorts. Basically, it was a pocket closure design where it's pickpocket proof, because the only way someone will get into your pocket is they'd have to have their thumb on your groin, on your bollocks. So I'm sure you notice that. I don't know what I'm saying.
It's not the missus proof then. Oh, shame.
No, nothing is, guys.
Right, okay. Just want to interrupt you there. Just shout out some of the people. It's great to see you all chatting away on the chat rooms there. Paul Younger, some good comments coming there from Paul. Good evening to you. Good evening to Leon Woods. Good evening to Leonard. Really great meeting you Friday. Wish it was in better circumstances, mate. It was lovely meeting you. Keep it going. Please share us, please, everywhere. We are new. We are building. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I must warn you now, we're lining up so much. We're not going to talk about it too much today, but we've got a lot of exciting news and stuff going on. Things have moved rapidly along, and we're working with people that are going to take this to another level. Good evening, Jay Funnel. First time listening. Great show, lads. Jay, mate, hope you're doing well. We got really exciting stuff, but we do need to get that YouTube channel up and running. We need 1,000 subscribers. There will be some fantastic interviews going on with some great people that will be going on just on the YouTube channel. So please get on there and subscribe. We've got a fantastic website being built as we speak, haven't we, chaps? We have. Yeah. Colin Olsen, come on, wake up, you two.
Just reading something. What was that, Gary?
I was listening, honestly.
and just
to announce,
there was like
now,
a Cammy moment then, wasn't it? It was like Chris Kamala.
Come on, wake up, you part. I know I go on a bit, but
you know what it reminds me of. Do you remember on Sesame Street, right? They used to split the screen with one of these kids is not like the other. Who's the one with hair up there? Do you know what I mean? 3 baldies and
on his way.
Anyone, right? Allan has just told us via our secret little chat room we have on here, folks. Oh yeah, we got a secret little chat room.
That's why I was reading.
He has just announced that anyone subscribing will get 10% discount off his products. Thank you very much, mate. That's really pretty. So if you want to subscribe to the channel, get on there, subscribe, and
follow me. Follow me. I'm having my missus pouring me a gin behind the screen a minute.
And they're giving 10%. Good evening to Lee Polt. How are you, sir? Joined by recommendation. Wow, that's good when people are joining because they've been recommended to. Fantastic. Thank you, Lee. Okay, right. So we are getting nearer to half time. Just a reminder to everyone, bit of a change. We are going to put up 5 questions while we have a pee break, or these 2 lads here who have been told you will not vape whilst on screen, right?
Sorry. I'm in the house. I'm
in the house. No vaping. Certain companies don't like it, by all accounts. Anyway, while we have a pee break, we're going to put up 5 questions for you to answer. We're going to do that on a weekly basis. At the moment, it's just a bit of fun. Don't Google. Try and see if you can answer them. Yeah? Don't Google. What's the point? There's no prizes at this point in time for anything we're doing. There will be in the future, maybe.
I'll check a T-shirt in. I'll check a T-shirt in tonight.
He's giving his stuff away again, look.
I know.
Well, we've got no way of setting that up now. What we'll do...
I'll give you the answers now.
Next week.
I'll send it to you, Dan.
What we'll do, mate, we'll do a proper competition next week. And we'll put it out on our pages as well. And we'll do a competition. We'll have to think about how we do it. And it'll be one of Allan's Awayday Apparel T-shirts. Remember, 10% off, folks, if you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And remember, share. Sorry to go on, but there we are.
That's the only way you'll grow.
Right. So, lads, any further questions you'd like to pose to Allan?
I'm gutted Graham's not on yet. I wanted to have one with him tonight.
Oh, mate, do you know what? I ain't going to say it. It's not fair.
I've got one for you, Alan.
What's
What
that?
do you think about Alan Ramsey
Well,
going to
right, listen, there's so many people in South Wales got this affiliation with Celtic or Rangers. I just don't get it. So you've got one team of both from Scotland. One of them wants to be Irish, the other wants to be English, and they're in Scotland. I don't get it. Personally, Allan Ramsey needs to be playing football for the benefit of Wales. I don't think it's a fantastic signing for Rangers. I don't think it's a good move for his career because he's still not fit. The pitches are not the best up there, except the 4G ones. The risk of getting injured up there, with all respect to every club up there, it's a 2-team league. Realistically, is the standard better than the champion? I think Allan Ramsey could still play top 10 Premier League. But
I think Palace were meant. Well, Vieira was asked the question, "Would you like him?" And he went, "Well, yeah, who wouldn't?" But then I think it was the money that was stumbling block. But Rangers have pulled off a massive coup, didn't they?
Absolutely. But I heard then that they had the option to buy at the end of the season. It's like, where have Rangers got that? Well, how much money are they going to want for him? Because I've heard now it's $5.5 million, and if that's the case, you'd have had every club in the Championship trying to snap him up.
Yeah. He's on $400,000 a week, isn't he? That's ridiculous money, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've got to stop looking at the comments. First prize, Dan will pop round and build you a porch for the winner. If only we'd uploaded Dan's pictures. Dan this week, everyone, has been building a porch on the front of his house.
This week?
Well, for about last year. But
Since I was 15.
this week. And he's done a good job. Just one from Paul Younger, Palace fan. Aaron Ramsey, injury prone, glad he went to Rangers. What did you think of that then, Dan?
I don't know where you'd have gone in the Palace side. I think they're pretty solid in midfield from them. I'm not a big Palace fan, but they're playing attractive football. And that goal they scored against who did we get? No, Liverpool, wasn't it? Who did play the other day? That goal they scored went through. He passed it straight through the middle. It was a hell of a goal.
Brighton? Was it Brighton?
No, I don't think it was Brighton. They drew, didn't they?
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm not gutted we didn't get him. I just think he's knocking on. He's injury prone, isn't he? You're not going to get you.
He is injury prone, but is that due to lack of match time? You know what I mean? When he's playing regularly, he's game changing, isn't he? But
it's brilliant. Been brilliant for Wales.
He's in his 30s now. At the end of the day, people need to realise that. And he hasn't played. I don't think he's played. I think he's played 70 minutes since November, so it's not enough. So
I think I've played more football than him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh dear. We are going to be talking a lot more about transfers a little bit later on. Just going to highlight any that we feel are of interest to talk about. That's all coming up in the second half. What we've got a few minutes. We've got a few minutes left of this half, and I'm trying to prolong it before we go to half time. We may go early. I may get the refs to whistle up early. We may have a floodlight failure or something like that.
Fire in the stand with all the smoke everywhere.
What did you? Sam and Man at Cardiff all them years ago. Was they great times, weren't they? Or
it was at the time. At the time, we were just, it was a roller coaster. I mean, he came away with us on one trip to York, and he was nuts. He was nuts.
Made the tabloids, didn't it?
He was nuts, and we just jumped on the coattails and enjoyed the ride. But then it turns out after it was just all loan notes and everything. He hadn't put a penny in, so. But it was nice. It was nice. Do you know what I mean? But looking back now, he brought the club. He brought the club to his knees. So, all right, I don't like this guy we got now. But the alternative was no club. So,
I always remember the day you played Leeds. Was it Leeds?
Oh, Leeds, yeah.
He walked around. He was getting the crowds.
Yeah. I was banned, and I was in just my first year of a ban, and I'll just go. Have we got time? It's a funny story. It's really good.
Yeah, go for it.
We were in Canton. We were in a pub in Canton, and I used to be good friends with Stuart Cable, remember, the drummer from the Stereophonics, and Kelly Jones, the singer, is a Leeds fan. So they were in a beer garden, a pub in Cardiff. They said, "Oh, come down with us." I said, "Nah, boys, I'm banned. I'm not going." So I stayed in the pub and I had a few pints, and got towards the end of the second. I thought, I got to go down there. I got to go. So by the time I get it, there's carnage outside. There's fucking windows going through the lot. I'm thinking, I'm better off inside now because the police are all out here. So I go steaming in through this door. I've walked into the post-match press conference. I'm like, fuck. wrong room. So I opened next door, and as I opened the door, I got Robbie Fowler, Jonathan Woodgate, Rio Ferdinand. They're all sat on a table there. Stuart Cable's the other side of the room talking to Robert Earnshaw. And I'm like just falling through this door. But Michael Dewberry was in there. Remember that case where Michael Dewberry allegedly grassed all the Leeds players up for that racial attack up there? Well, me being me, I've taken Michael Dewberry over to the table with Lee Bowyer, Jonathan Woodgate, all of them. I said, you better fucking talk to him. It's not his fault. And I'm like, all the boys are like, oh, you know what I mean? And I was banned. I wasn't even supposed to be there. So
You was banned again.
Yeah. Mate, we played in the Millennium Stadium, the Millennium Stadium in the playoffs against Leeds, and what an arse, because we beat them, we smashed them 3-0. And before the game, there was tensions because there was a lot of Cardiff meeting up, and obviously Leeds had huge firm up there and all that. And, we were in the middle. But, mate, we come out because we were down for the weekend, right? And we've come out, and guess what? Every pub shut. We couldn't celebrate. We ended up having to go out almost to Cardiff to find somewhere to get a drink because of this tension.
You know why, didn't it? Because there was 425,000 Leeds fans there.
Oh, yeah. And they still would have took more, you know.
That's what they take everywhere.
In there. They did. I remember that. But just on that, I mean, someone's saying, could you tell us a bit more about the derbies between Cardiff and Swansea? I mean, give us a bit of background. I mean, obviously, it's obvious why you got that rivalry. Is there any other sort of, most rivalries, you look at West Ham Millwall, it's all to do with the docks.
Southampton, Pompey as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Sunderland, Newcastle. There's a lot goes back to the English Civil War.
Yeah.
Mate, there's so much history in derbies.
Absolutely. And, I've just been brought up just to fucking don't like them. But I mean, I'm a bit older now, and I got a lot of mates who are Swansea fans now. I mean, this is unheard of. A couple of years ago, I would have never spoken to them. But hey, there's a lot of bitterness from Swansea towards, like, with all respect, Cardiff is the capital of Wales, and they were overlooked for that. And a lot of financing and a lot of development. It all seems to come to Cardiff, and I think there's an awful lot of. I don't know what else it'd be. It's jealousy because they're not getting the investment and whatever. I got to be honest. Their football model when Brendan Rodgers was here, I was jealous of it. But with regards to the derbies, it's still the only game in Britain that's a bubble game. That should tell you enough. It's 35 miles away, and it's a 4-hour trip each way on a bus. So I've stopped going because a trip could take me 45 minutes. Well, an hour and a half all in is 8 hours on a coach. So no, not for me. I hate losing against them. Do you know what I mean? But then equally, I don't gloat if we beat them. We don't really these days, do we? But it's a nasty bit of rivalry. There was an incident a number of years ago with like everyone in the stadium, Swansea sings Swim Away, where there was, that's a top 10 Cardiff fans, youngsters got caught on their own after the game midweek, and they were chased into the sea by significantly more. Now, you swear that everyone from Swansea was here. Do you know what I mean? Because I've seen them in the ground wearing armbands and, swim away. Like 1991, Cardiff City fans took over Swansea, and funny enough, it's erased from their memory. Do you know what I mean? They forgot about that. So, hey, it's a friendly rivalry for me now. I'm too old for that shit, but it's the first fixture I look for when they come out. But I hate losing it. I'm a bag of nerves from the first minute to the 90th, whether we're winning or losing. Like, so it's a horrible, like any derby. Like, Guy, I suppose you were the same with Luton, mate. Do you know what I mean? It's like
mate, they beat you. Were happy with Luton last night, weren't you?
Yeah, it was fair play.
They beat Swansea. I mean, cracking result for you boys against Barnsley on Tuesday as well.
Yeah. And Chiesa was there. I sat here last night and I'd had a few gins and I was watching it. My missus sat there, she's laughing. And Cardiff scored. And I'm like, oh, bollocks, they've scored. So I'd obviously had too much to drink. And then she said, no, it's Cardiff. And I was like, oh, right, okay. But the game for me was the performance against Nottingham Forest on Saturday. That 4 or 5 new players in the starting lineup, 4 new loan signings, and looked like a team again. Bristol City away. I don't know if you watched our live on the telly. We were lucky to get away with what was it? Was it 4-1 in the end? It could have been 9-10. We were shocking. So there's clearly issues there.
We're prolonging this, by the way, folks. The assistant has come out and said there could be quite a number of minutes of added time, mainly because we have an injury at the moment, which is Simon. And unfortunately, Simon is
gone for the vape.
He's the one in the competition and the quiz, and
he's fighting injury.
He's straws here. So hopefully he's going to get that sorted and get back on. Luckily, obviously, we're still live. But anyway, we're going to keep it going. So for a little longer, otherwise I will read the questions out and I won't go for the toilet.
No, you need the toilet guy. I've done this with you before.
Saying that, obviously the other week against Bristol City, there was a lot of trouble. And the policing would have appeared, and we've been bringing this up on a number of weeks now about inadequate policing at football. The police in that game looked atrocious. They walked Cardiff into a fucking ambush in the park.
God, it happens now. What I've noticed, and like we've had incidents at ours over the years. We're going to Millwall in a couple of weeks. I know we're taking loads. So what I'm finding they're doing, particularly in a year of I booked to go to Rotterdam in June for the League Nations, the games that weekend. They let it happen, guy. The police will put you in a situation and they'll film it, and they'll just pick you up. They don't want people traveling. So, it's easier for them just to let it happen and pick up the evidence. And they've got banked the right nickings rather than just handbags and gesturing or whatever. Let them go. And they banked the amount of lads who were filming this shit, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? You're doing a job, and straight on social media. Yo, Bill are just filtering through it and picking lads up for, you know what I mean? It's like, come on, wise up. But I'm not interested. I still, if something was happening, I still got to have a little mooch and have a nose. But no, not for me.
You can just be a bystander and get caught up.
Well, I have been,
and then you get nicked for that.
I think for me, and we have gone on about this maybe a bit too long now, but for me, this is a great example of how poor the policing has become, though. And we had Mike Howe on, who's obviously been on the terraces, been in the army, been in the prison services, and been in the police force. Yeah, and he agreed. The one thing also at the top level, they seem to be a little bit off the mark. They don't understand. Look, go back to the 90s. They had their finger on the pulse, the old Bill.
Yeah.
They really did. Yeah. But now they seem to be way off the mark. And the demographic of a police officer has changed immensely as well. Yeah. There are more university graduates coming into the police than there is out the army. Yeah. And I'm sorry, you don't learn about life in uni. I don't care what anyone tells you. You don't learn about life. And you have to come out and learn, But anyway, I'm sure people will disagree with me and say university people are the greatest people in the world. I won't agree, but there we are. Just a quick one. I'm not sure if we're able to go to half time or not yet, because go to break, do quiz. Right. Okay, so I'm guessing we can go to the break and the quiz can come up. Yes, I can. Okay, lovely. We haven't got Simon literally on the show, but he can put it up. There's a couple of comments just before the ref whistles for half time that are coming in. I'd like to raise one from Jay Funnell. Jay Funnell, he's a Watford supporter. He's a friend of mine. He just putting up there the best ever game of football that had no meaning to it really. That he's saying, I have to agree. I was there as well. Was Bolton 3, Watford 4 in 2015, and there was nothing to it. But that day, the players felt their knees at the end of the game, both sets. An amazing game. Yes, Jay, unbelievable game, and I am fully with you. It will always be one of the best games I've seen. Seen Palace at the Vetch and Ninian Park and both the new grounds. Love the rendition at Swansea when the whole ground sings Land of My Fathers. Yes, I've been there and experienced that. I have to say they do that well before kick-off. Why are they called the Jacks? There you go. One for you, Al.
there used to be a pub on a seafront in Swansea. Actually, it was called the Swansea Jack. But the picture on the pub on the thing is of a Jack Russell dog that used to go out with a lifeboat. So the pub was called the Swansea Jacks, and that's right by the vet. But I mean, someone may tell me that I'm wrong, but I'm under the impression it's to do with the name of that dog that used to go out with the Swansea lifeboat. It was the Swansea Jack.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, that's a brilliant story, that.
Mm. Talking about Palace and Swansea and Cardiff, I think Palace played Swansea in the FA Cup in the late 70s, I believe, and it went to 2 legs replay, and then they decided to play the third game at Cardiff's ground.
Oh Christ, I can't remember that. I can't remember
before
that.
your time now. Gary might remember it.
No, that's fine. I'm 49, so I mean, late 70s, I'd have been about 7. So
yeah, I'm waiting to get someone older than me on. Jesus.
But, I mean, that was meant to.
I'm 53 weeks today, so don't forget.
All right.
Oh, okay.
You want to send me a nice T-shirt?
Yeah. Send yourself one.
Yeah, you can send myself for your birthday, I'm sure. Right, folks, I'm not sure. I really ain't sure whether Simon is going to be able to do this, because I think he's lost again. I don't know. He was on, he said he could do it. Yes, I can. Right, we're going to go the whistle, the whiffy wet. He's a fucking robot. We've got to touch on that after. Half time, folks. Only a couple of minutes. Don't run anywhere. Do this quiz. 5 questions. Don't go on Google. See if you can answer them. Good evening, Nicky. See if you can answer them. And when we come back, I'll give you the answers. Let's see if Alan and Dan know the answers as well. Okay, half time. By the way, chaps, you'll need to mute. Simon can take this. Hey!
Right.
Hello, everybody. We're back. We're
Not.
still minus silent. Right. Okay, folks. Someone's put it up there. Let me just have a look. See if he's got it bang on. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I struggle with question 5 as well. I couldn't get
What's
it.
that? What was 5?
What league do York City play in?
Right. Okay. That is not a good answer, Dan,
National
and I'm
League.
going to tell you why in a minute. That is a really bad answer from you, my friend.
Who, me?
Okay. No, from Dan. He'll
Oh,
realise
okay.
in a minute why.
Oh no, I
Right.
do know.
Now you do know. And you're about to put a focus on that very league. Oh no, you're doing National League. Sorry. No, I'll
Oh.
take that back.
So no, I don't know this.
National League South, North. Right, there you go. There we go. We're going to go in reverse order. Number 5 was National League South. Okay.
Is this South?
North.
No, North.
I was going to say.
York City playing National League North. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it, you know, with the history they've got. In number 4 was name, but now this has caught people out. And someone's put the answers up there, and it's not quite right. I wanted to know what the current name of the ground is.
Oh, it's changed, isn't it? Is it Macron now, isn't it?
See, it's a trick one, that.
It's Macron now, isn't it?
It is, no, it's changed again.
Oh, is it? What was the old one? Burnden Park?
Yes, that was the old one.
Yeah,
So the answer to the Brighton, can you answer it? What is the name? Don't Google, nobody. What is the name? Because none of you got it right. What is the name of Bolton Wanderers football ground now? Burden Park was the old ground, and it was the Macron and the Reebok, but that isn't what it's called now. I'm just trying to see someone where all the answers gone. We've flicked through them pretty quick.
University of Bolton Stadium.
Gareth Williams has got it. Did you Google it, Gareth? This is the thing. Did you Google it? And that was it's the University of Bolton Stadium.
Yeah, I've just heard they've just literally just changed it again. Hang on,
Have
they've changed the name. No.
Sorry, Jeff. Yeah.
But yeah, it's been the Macron, it's been the Reebok, and of course the old ground was Burnden Park. Okay, question number 3, going in reverse order, was name Wrexham's ground, which I think is quite straightforward, and yes, people got it right.
No, I was going to say they've built
the race course ground.
Obviously, I know it's a race course, but they've just built a university next door to it, and it's got Wrexham University on it. I would not be surprised if that's the next one to go.
Yeah. We're going to touch on Wrexham in a bit anyway, I think, Al, and get your opinion on them.
Yeah.
But yeah, race course ground. Question number 2. Now, none of you have answered this correctly. Obviously, the one man that would have done. There was 2 parts to that question. A lot of you have answered it.
I know that one.
It was Bristol Rovers with the nickname Gas. The other part of that question was why? Why are they called Gas?
Because Eastville was by the gasworks.
Bingo. It used to sit behind the old tote end in Eastville, their original ground, and it was Bristol City was used as a derogatory name towards them at one game, and they decided to take it on as their nickname. Yeah, absolutely. The gas works, and it used to smell of gas at Eastville. So, yeah, that is exactly what it is. Well done, Al. And then the last question was, and again, it is a 2-part question, so please read them. Kevin Keegan is the player. Absolutely right. Paul Young got it right there. There you are. Hamburg. The team was Hamburg. Absolutely. And then he come from Hamburg over to Southampton.
Yeah.
Great player.
European player of the year when he out there, was he?
Yeah. Good player. Great player.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah. And
no good at riding bicycles and superstars, though, was he?
No.
I think the hair kept getting in his face. But no, I had the pleasure of being at Anfield for the Dalglish Keegan reunion. Well, not reunion, but the match off when the first time Keegan went back to.
He's watched too much NFL. The match off. What's that about now?
But anyway, shut up now. Shut up.
Yeah.
Fuck you know, Gary. Great hairstyle. Looks like my mum. Yeah, I used to have hairstyle like that. So did Alan. And Dan's getting there.
Wait.
What's that? My leaves are.
Guys, I hope that's given us a bit of light entertainment. We'll put another 5 questions up next week. Obviously, we're going to look at a competition for one of Alan's T-shirts as well. Right, okay, we haven't got Simon. And the next subject we're going to raise is clubs in turmoil. Simon, unfortunately, did the homework on this, or maybe didn't, I don't know. But certainly I haven't overly. Dan, you've done a little bit, haven't you, on it? But right now we've got clubs in turmoil. We've seen this sporadically. The problems with owners dictating to Cardiff, to Hull, the problems at Coventry, Bury, Macclesfield, Rushden and Diamonds. Bless them, they're back as AFC now in the Southern League. Bury, what's going on there? We've got Rochdale, we've got Oldham. We've got now bigger clubs now that are having difficulties now to a very high level, which is Derby County. We'll touch on that, but we're going to talk a lot more about that next week, because next week's guest is Nigel Callaghan, ex-Watford, Villa, Derby and England under-21, back from in the 80s. Part of the golden era at Watford he was. So he's coming on next week, and he's happy to talk a little bit about Derby with us, and we can talk about that.
I can touch on Rochdale if you want, Gary. But...
Yeah, so touch on the Rochdale situation, mate, and so we'll go from there.
Yeah, well, they had a march before they played Oldham last week from their ground over to Boundary Park, and it was about football together. So we know Oldham were having issues, didn't they? But basically, what's happened at Rochdale has always been a fan-owned club since its beginning, fan-run club, and now recently you've got the Dow Trust, you've got a couple of other chairmen or shareholders, there they are, and there's a group they've had a disrepute with. They're called the Morton House MGT Group, and it's been alleged by the other shareholders that they've been going around buying shares up of other shareholders, basically to try and do a takeover. So they've now took them to court, but because they're all equal shareholders of Rochdale, they can't fund it. Rochdale, don't want to say the good guys, but probably shouldn't say that, but they can't fund it, so they're trying to raise money. So they've raised a few thousand already, but it goes into astronomical costs. So they've got a GoFundMe page up, and then they did this march, and but they're just worried about their club going down the same road as other clubs.
For many others, yeah.
Yeah, where people have come in, bought the shares up, and then taken over. So just want to keep an eye on that for Rochdale FC, because they want to remain a fan club.
Yeah.
Well run little Spotlands. That's the club. That's what it's called, isn't it? Spotlands? Is it Spotlands?
Might be, yeah.
Yeah.
What was Chesterfield's old ground called? No, you're right. There's Spotlands. Yeah,
mate, Chesterfield's
Saltergate.
Saltergate.
Saltergate, yeah.
I was there in 1984 with Northampton, and that
you've had more clubs at Tiger Woods as well.
Naughty, mate. I tell you, really naughty. And I shouldn't have been there either. There's obviously a reason I must have gone, and it wasn't to watch football. But there we are. Right. Okay. So yeah, we got a lot of problems with clubs. We're going to touch on Derby maybe a bit more next week when we got the one and only Mr. Callaghan with us, and obviously Birmingham City are up in arms, and I mean it's coming out that they can't even maintain their ground, for God's sake.
Yeah, they've closed 2 stands there, haven't they? I mean, and it's a nice ground, St Andrews. I mean, the 2 stands they've closed are the 2 that are in good nick. So
I'm going to
I think it's asbestos. I think some of it is. I think so.
I'm going to say something really controversial now, and I mean it's controversial, and I'm going to get shot in flames. But it's just something I have mentioned to you. You know what I'm going to say, I think, Dan. You're looking there with a smile. I look at this, and I look at Birmingham City. They've got no money. They can't afford to maintain the ground. The fans are up in arms. How do they afford to run a top-flight women's club?
Separate funding. Separate funding. It's got to be. Yeah. The resurgence and the massive growth in women's football this season is clear that there's been funding provided from somewhere. Obviously, first and foremost for its marketing, its profile. It's on mainstream TV. Don't get me wrong, your Chelseas and your Man Cities, they probably got a far higher running cost than the Birmingham Cities. I mean, and I'll say this respectfully, I watched Cardiff City ladies the other day on the live stream, and it's fair to say some of those should be playing rugby. So, I mean, you can see that clearly, the further down the pecking order in women's football you go, you look at Man City, they got full-on international footballers. So, I mean, and, some of them good enough. Don't get me wrong, I won't, again, maybe not a physicality, but the skill levels there, play League One football, or maybe lower-end Championship football. Don't get me wrong. But you look further down, and some of these girls, they clearly, football is after the burgers and the pints after are as popular as the football. So they're not as professional then as maybe Man Cities and my missus is raising her eyes over here now.
Listen, I'm not knocking women's football in the slightest. My only worry is for the clubs lower down in the leagues trying to. I hope they are getting funding from somewhere else, because I can't see how.
I think Barclays Bank, one of the big banks, invested a lot of money into women's football. Maybe that was the Premier League of women's football. There was a lot of investment going in there.
There's definitely been money put into it, because last season, with all respect, the games weren't televised. Now all of a sudden, every game is on, and they've even got a women's football. So I'm all for it. For it. Football.
Yeah, like I say, I'm concerned about the game I love, which is the men's game, and the fact that a lot of clubs are struggling to stay afloat. And obviously, they're trying to invest in women's football. I don't see how the men's game can afford to invest in women's football.
The running cost of a women's team.
At the top end, I get it. The elite football, but I don't like the elite football anyway. They can go.
I don't think these girls are not on your thousands of pounds a week.
No, I know they're not. I mean,
the running cost of one of these teams is probably, coaches' salaries, and these girls are probably on 100, 200 pound a week. Except the professional ones at the high end, they're not going to be on 20, 40, 50 grand a week. They're not going to be.
Do you know who helped out Palace ladies? They're in the second tier down. I think they play at Bromley Football Club. But someone who bailed them out and paid for them to run was Will Sarah. He gives 10% of wages away to charity every month. But he paid for the ladies' team. Someone might back me up. Paul might back me up in the comments.
Which had played for the men, Dan. Not paid.
I'm not questioning the equality of it, but what I'm questioning is if I've got a business that is running on empty, which most football clubs are. I'm worried that clubs are feeling an obligation to run a women's team that they can't afford to run. And we've seen we're talking about our clubs in turmoil. So I'm hoping that the money is cut, because they can't be getting it. TV rights maybe, but they don't get crowds.
Do you know what I'll say on that though as well, right? These girls, right? They are the top end professionals. You can see that they're internationals. They're taking it serious. There's a lot of our clubs, right? Our under 23 side probably cost 10 times as much to run than their first women's team.
Yeah.
And I just think it is good, but
I think
it's never going to have the support of the men's game, because the passion isn't there. So
I was sort of looking at Birmingham on it, because Birmingham are in the top flight of women's football, and I can't see how they can afford to do it unless the funding is, because they don't get the crowds.
No,
they don't draw in the crowds. If you're not the telly could be the answer, obviously.
Possibly,
football. So you're not going to get the crowds in. You're not going to get the sponsors in. You're not going to. So it has to come through the TV.
Someone said having them play before, Gail. Sorry, mate. Having the women. I know we're a different topic, but having the women's team play same days, an hour and a half before the men's come on.
Yeah,
just
great
make it
idea.
a big package.
Not only that, that cuts down on the cost of laying on the game.
Yeah,
it's just a thought that I've been thinking about for a while now. Is how can the men's game subsidise the women's game? Because I don't think it can, other than the elite league. But Birmingham are in that elite league, and they got not pop a piss in. So, or it would appear that way. Although I think a message has just gone up to me saying they've released a statement at Birmingham saying they're putting it down to the fact that the stadium's been empty for 2 years. So of 92 other clubs. Right, okay. Weird. I can understand why they're a bit upset in Birmingham. Anyway, right, that's. I think that's done. I think let's fingers crossed that the money is evenly distributed in the women's game, because it worries me. We see it in the men's game; it's not evenly distributed. It has to be in the women's game, otherwise the women's game won't take off enough.
And to get it all the way down, all the levels down. My daughter used to play football.
It's got
loads of girls play.
Yeah. It's a good subject. Maybe we could get a female on who's involved in the game and talk about this on another show. Would be good. Would be good. That is a great idea, though, Dan. By the way, great idea. Okay, look, we're going to move on because of time. Actually, I didn't realise with our delay we've only got 20 minutes. Dan, can you touch on what is FA Cup weekend, please?
Oh, yeah, FA Cup fourth round, and we've got Man United Borough. Middlesbrough kicks it off on Friday night, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Middlesbrough fans really pissed off and upset. They've had to fork out 45, 46 quid a ticket, which is outrageous. 9,500 going though, so they'll have a brilliant atmosphere for them. Moving on to Saturday, we've got Chelsea Plymouth. Now I don't know why this is a 12:30 kickoff. It's not fair on the Plymouth fans at all.
You will do.
Yeah.
You will do after the game, yeah.
League One Plymouth against Chelsea. Be a good game for them. Then we've got Kidderminster, West Ham again. That's an early kickoff, which is a bit sad, really. Live on telly, but Kidderminster flying high in the Northern League National League North, up in fourth. So the lowest ranked team left in the competition. So
fair play.
Should be a great game there. The Agra Stadium, I think it's called.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Then we've got Palace Hartlepool, 3 o'clock, and that's a great story. Sold out the game. Hartlepool bringing 4,000 down. Palace helped out, subsidised some of the coaches to come down the club.
That is a trip, isn't it? That's a hell of a trip.
So I think it's 12 quid each, and some guys have. One of the Palace guys in the chat group, I mean, they messaged the Hartlepool fan group and just said, "Oh, good luck, guys!" And the amount of love we got back saying like, "You're our second team now," and I think they got a great atmosphere up. I think they got a little group of ultras as well.
Oh, mate, they're mad, mate.
Brilliant atmosphere.
Did you ever see them? You never see them.
The
monkey hangers, yeah.
Did you ever see them turn up at St Pancras all dressed as Smurfs?
Yeah,
that footage, man. They're brilliant fans. Brilliant.
Yeah. So that'd be a sold out 25, 6,000. So that'd be an amazing game. And who else we got? We got Huddersfield, Barnsley, bit of a Yorkshire derby, that one.
Yeah, that'd be an atmosphere.
Southampton, Coventry. Coventry sold out their 5,000 allocation in 25 minutes. When it went on sale.
The message gone up nearly 6,000 bowl accounts, and Southampton are doing it at £10 a ticket. Shame on you, Man United, mate. I'm going to say it. Shame on you.
Yeah.
Absolute shame on Man United. What they're doing.
They got a legal bill to pay now, haven't they? Though?
It's just shame on them. Yeah. Every club.
They've just lost their star striker, mate. They're going to get all the money they can.
Yes, yeah.
Shame on them, mate. Palace doing what they're doing for the fact that Hartlepool fans, £10. I think even Spurs is 25 quid.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
In that new stadium.
Yeah.
Shame on you, Man United. Sorry, and I don't mean that towards the fans, by the way.
No, you're right.
No, Middlesbrough as well. They'll get. I know because someone else. I had a chat with someone on our Facebook, Proper Football Facebook page, and he said, "Well, Middlesbrough they've charged us a fortune to go there." And I thought, well, they get. Is it half of the gate receipts for this game against, or is it a quarter they get?
I don't know if it's half, but I mean,
I'm not sure how it works. Yeah.
But they're going to
earn a significant amount.
Yeah, so Borough are going to earn, as a club, going to earn money out their own fans and get on that. They was it 20s plenty was the big push, wasn't it? And their away games are 30 quid now, aren't they? 30 quid for Premier League, which is something maybe they could do that for the FA Cup. Anyway, who else we got? We've got Cambridge against Luton. Mid-table Cambridge in Division 1 against Championship Luton. So that's a tight game. Cambridge beat Newcastle, didn't they? Great.
Come on, Cambridge. Come on, Cambridge.
Spurs Brighton's the evening game, like you said, cheap tickets. And then on Sunday, again, an early kickoff, but Liverpool Cardiff, Alan.
Not for me. I've been here a few times with Cardiff. I've probably been here more times than most so-called Liverpool fans from this area, but I go to the boxing Saturday night. Liam Williams and Eubank Jr. in Cardiff, so I won't be getting home. You know, we'd have to leave 5 a.m. to get to Anfield. And the way we're playing at the moment, I'd be surprised if we keep it in single figures. But anyway, it's a magic. You never know. But not for me this time. If it was 5 o'clock on the Sunday, I'd have gone. But no,
12 o'clock's ridiculous. But a good fight that looks, by the way, doesn't it?
There's loads going up on a Saturday night. So
the TV don't give a shit about the fans. You know that.
But,
you know that. All right, Dan. I'm gonna. Is
two
that
more left, girl.
Monday night? Have we?
Forest Leicester, massive East London.
That's a big game.
East Midlands derby.
That's a big game.
I've got to quickly put a punt in because obviously Gary Clark will be at that one. I've got a quick punt in for Gary. He does so much work at Carlton Town, as you know. We had him on the other week. They've got coming up on March the 11th a night with John O'Hare, Scottish Forest legend. I think it's up there. There we are. Okay, it's £40 a head. Or you can buy a table of 10 for £400. It's including a 2-course meal, and it's a night with John O'Hare, legend of Forest and Scotland. If you're interested in that night, and look, this is all about supporting grassroots football, so don't go, 40 quid. No, you're getting a 2-course meal with that as well. This is all about supporting grassroots football. The work they do at Carlton Town is amazing, truly amazing. So Gary's just put up 25 at sea. Not sure what you mean by that. All right. Okay, it might be £25 then. I don't know. Gary, let us know, please. But look, guys, we're going to put Gary's number up. Hopefully, if Simon can hear me, I'm sure he can. He'll put Gary's number up. If not, if you don't take a note of Gary's number and you're interested in that wonderful night out at Carlton Town, give us a shout. We can put you on to Gary and he will sort you out. All right. City Ground Leicester game. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just reading them comments. I'm dreadful, aren't I? Okay. But look, if you're interested, get hold of Gary and he'll sort out a ticket for you. But the money is invested wisely into grassroots football. You're getting a 2-course meal. I know it'll be a cracking night. There'll be some big faces there, no doubt, knowing Gary. So, yeah, support your grassroots teams. Wonderful. Okay, so...
One more cup game, girl.
One more cup game, go on.
Against Boreham Wood, 5th in the National League in a minute. Boreham Wood.
Yeah, the other non-league side.
Yeah. That's the last game Sunday.
Boreham Wood.
No games Monday night for a change. So it's all Friday, Saturday and Sunday, the FA Cup this weekend. So those to look forward to.
Yeah, no, we do. Sorry, we're skimming through it. Obviously, we've not got long. Now, we were going to just quickly, you're not going to get to do the National League focus by looks of this now. We'll have to do that next week. All right. But we are going to quickly touch on transfers. Just if any transfers stick out to any of you guys. I've got one that actually I think is a transfer of the window. I think it's unbelievable transfer. I'm hoping Simon's going to actually put up the picture of this transfer. Come on, Si. Oh, Simon. No, not that one. That's all right. We're going to stick. Oh, that was next. Sorry, mate. Right, there we are on deadline day. This is the signing of the window without any doubt. Okay, Barton Rovers have bought the rake for $6.99. Now, look, that is going to be quality on that pitch. That's going to do a cracking job on that pitch. That rake.
Great sweeper.
And I've heard they've signed a deal that gives them a new handle in 3 years' time as well, part of that deal. And that's good value for money as well, because I'm not being funny. If that had been Spear and Jackson, that would have been about 18 quid. So they've bought themselves a cracking deal, a great signing, right, on deadline day, right? They've not been left out. Yeah, a great signing, and that will do really well on the pitch. I guarantee it. Really well. Yeah. Okay. The other one now, you can put it up, Si.
When you race down your shins.
We're really running out of time badly. So this is apologies. You know, people who know me know I'm really shit at saying names. But this is Cathal Heffernan, okay? I'm sorry if I've said that wrong. Cathal Heffernan. Now, this lad is 16 years old. He played for Cork City.
It's probably Kyle.
No. Cathal.
I don't know.
Cathal. Anyway, my apologies. Look, just look back at anything I've done. I'm useless at it. Anyway, look, Cork City to AC Milan. Now, the reason I brought it up is because of Brexit, under 18 lads can't come over here because of the ruling between the EU and the footballs or whatever. So what's happening in Ireland now, where you'd used to get your Roy Keanes and Stapletons coming over as young 16-year-old lads signing up and showing that they're now going to Italy. So they're now going to Italy. And there's another lad went from Shamrock Rovers to one of the other big boys out in Syria. There's 3 or 4 of them over there, Dan, I think. But this lad, he was signed, I think, on deadline day from Cork City, 16-year-old lad, supposedly a fantastic deal to AC Milan. In the past, they would have been coming over here to English clubs and Welsh. I'd get that in. Didn't want to leave you out. But anyway,
we're an English club playing in Wales, aren't we? Really? So.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing because one thing we never realised that because of Brexit and everything else, that it's going to affect the movement of players. And that's why I brought that one up. Dan, any outstanding transfers for you?
Well, Palace are a bit quiet. We got some young lad from Derby. We paid £1 million to Derby, and Steve Parish come out and said. Steve Parish come out and said, maybe it was a bit of PR, but he said, look, because we was in the same boat as Derby, twice we've been in it, nearly liquidation, and he said he wanted to give something back, so he's paid £1 million for this young lad. Can't think of his name now. But anyway, we promised young lad. We've loaned him back so he can finish the season off there. But Rooney's come out since and said all these vultures coming around when we was trying to help them out. But anyway, so that's I think that's a nice story.
That's always going to happen. When a club's in administration, everyone's going to dive in there, isn't they? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, to us. We lost loads of great players, but £1 million will get Derby through in the next few months, hopefully. So that's one of the nicest transfers. Yeah, I mean, everyone's talking about Newcastle and buying everybody, and but
some of those signings they're making, the money they spent. What they spent 15 million was it on Chris Woods? I'm like, hang on,
25.
Yeah. Right. I was shocked at 15, so that's even worse. So
no, 25.
It's right to have money, but that's St. Maximum. What a player he looks. If he was played through the centre, do you know what I mean? They've got strikers there. What does that do to the rest of the kids in the under 23s? Do you know what I mean? Chris Woods, come on, give me a break.
Yeah. Luke Plange. Plange.
Yeah, Plange. That's who they signed. That's who Palace signed.
Yeah.
He scored against. Did he score a goal? He scored on one of the televised games the other day when they went 2-0 down. Who did they go 2-0 down to on the weekend?
Oh, they come back, didn't they? With the overhead kick at the end.
He scored in that game.
Oh, did he? Right.
Yeah.
But I would count Rooney's moan that you nicked him, by the way. Just want to touch on a comment that's come through. Again, really bigging up the night at Carlton Town there. Someone's come through, said he was the speaker at Palace last Christmas. Absolutely brilliant. Great night. Okay, so brilliant. Any transfers that stuck out in your mind from it all?
Bournemouth have quite well, but I think Everton have Dele Alli.
I was just going to say Dele Alli and Donny van de Beek. It's going to, I was shocked that Everton let Luca Digne go, and he had an instant impact for Villa then, didn't he, against him a week later. I was shocked to let him go, but Dele Alli, I think Dele Alli he needed a move.
He needs a manager that's going to kick his.
He needs a manager with his arms around his shoulder constantly, because after Pochettino went,
attitude. He's very arrogant, very arrogant.
Have you seen that? That is it. What's it called? All or Nothing. What's the series on Netflix where they follow top?
Yeah.
And I watched it, and he's in Mourinho's office more than Mourinho, and you can see his attitude. You can just see it arrogant, but he's still got years left in him. Surely you can't go from that standard to what he is. He needs to be managed and pushed.
Do you know there's a couple of players like him? I think Grealish is another one. Will Grealish reach full potential? Because he's got what it takes.
He's a small fish in a big pond now. He was a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah,
So
it might do him the world of good, but he's still misbehaving even now. So you know, some of these players, they get paid too much money for a start.
Yeah,
and this prick that's you know, Man United prick. You know,
that's a perfect example of it. That's a perfect example. A kid who's had money all his life. He doesn't know how to. They're not living in a real world, guy.
No, they're not.
You know what I mean? He's been on mental money from 17 years of age. He's not. They haven't got any life skills, and they think that's acceptable behaviour. No.
It's just the wrong than he is.
I agree with what you're saying, Alan, and a lot of people have said it in front of me. You know, the problem is with footballers now, they are living in a different world because they got so much money. I mean, I looked at it, you know, even in the Championship, some of them wages are crazy. The average, if you Google the average wage in the Championship, it's 25 grand a week. Yeah. I know they're not all on that, but there's some on.
There's some on more.
25 grand a week, right? is for a normal working bloke.
That's a year.
It's a lifetime.
Yeah. The normal working bloke, that's a week's salary there is a year for some people.
Out of control. But I you know, I get on the aisles about it. I can't even go in a stadium and watch these pricks anymore, knowing the ridiculous money they're on. Sorry. I really can't.
Talking about transfers and nothing happening, West Ham fans have been up in arms this week, haven't they? Because they didn't.
I can understand why.
Yeah. They needed to buy a forward, didn't they? And these false.
Not one transfer at West Ham.
Well, they put a phantom bid in, I reckon, or maybe it was a real bid for a big. I forget who it was now, a big player, and never got him. They was never going to get.
They were chasing Jesse Lingard again, weren't they?
Yeah, I think they're a threat to United now, aren't they? Which everyone's been saying. So I can understand why United haven't let him go to West Ham. But
I feel for the West Ham fans. I mean, obviously, know quite a few of them nowadays, but I do feel for them because do you know what? I don't think they'll ever be in such a good position to get that top four. No. And I think they expected to get a bit of strengthening in.
I thought they'd have kicked on after last season.
Top four, you know, they already don't like them. They've all, you know, I know we've got the new guy in at 25%. They have, and at the end of the day, you know, the West Ham fans, they absolutely hate Gold and whatever it is, and
Sullivan and
the Dildo brothers,
you know, and they hate them with a passion. And at the end of the season, if they don't get top four, that passion will grow again because they're going to put that down to why did you
lack of investment?
Lack of investment again.
That's the only thing it is. They've kept the bulk of their squad together, and after qualifying for Europe last year, you know the natural progression is you invest and you kick on. Now that hasn't happened, and it's the frustration there. I can see why they're frustrated. You know, it's a lack of ambition from the board.
You know, Leonard's just put up. I know he's West Ham. No comment, Gal. He's put, and then he's just put GSB out.
Yeah.
But no, I can understand their frustration. They've had such a great season. You know what I mean? Let's just hope they don't have such a good night. I think it's 2 weeks on Tuesday when they play Watford at the Olympic Stadium or whatever they call it now.
I don't know. So Gary, I don't know if Simon's got the picture of Arsenal we had.
Oh yeah.
Arsenal they got no players left, have they? They've let everyone go out on loan.
No.
Do you know what? We've got a minute left of normal time. We may have a couple of minutes add on because of the injury we've sustained. But there you go. There's Arsenal. That is funny. That is funny. I just want to finish off with this then. All right. I want to touch on Wrexham. The reason is because we've got Alan here as a Welshman. Obviously, I mean, they've been busy in the transfer markets. They've splashed out on that O'Connor fella from Burton Albion. I think we think between, because it's undisclosed, but we think between £300,000 and £500,000. If you go through, there's a few other players there. This was something I think Simon was going to do for us, so I've not got the full detail. But they've spent a hefty amount of money. Hollywood has taken over Wrexham.
Yeah. But you know what's nice about that, though? What's nice about it, though, is the guys who bought into it are actually speaking to the fans. And they say, what do you know what I mean? Ryan Reynolds, and who's the other one? I can't the other one. But they're engaging with fan groups. And what do you want? And that doesn't happen.
I agree with you. totally agree.
They've engaged with the fans, so that's you're winning already. Sorry?
You think it's good for Welsh football to see them come back?
Mate, any club from grassroots, from kids, you know what I mean? I love the game from grassroots up. So, I mean, you know, Wrexham, they fell foul of dropping out of the league like so many other clubs have. Do you know what I mean? Like you touched on earlier, York City, there's Cambridge United, they've all done it. And it's a struggle back. It really is a struggle back. If you haven't got a back in a football, you know, league football, but Wrexham have always maintained, you know, a really strong fan base, and you can sense there's a real buzz there again and an excitement about a club, and for the right reason.
They do a very good rendition of Land of Our Fathers as well. Yeah, they do. I've heard it actually. No, I'm not there, but I've heard. I get some stuff from them, and they send me videos. So, just saying there, Gareth Williams said he says it'd be good for Welsh football to have Wrexham back in the Football League. I think he's right. And basically, I am going to finish the show on the fact that I was driving through Wrexham a few months back, and what they've done, there's this, and I mean it ain't pretty, but there's this hill as you're driving in, and they put Wrexham in the same manner as
like Hollywood,
it's brilliant.
I drove through it in July, and I saw it as well.
It's brilliant. Do you know any good news about lower league football is great news, and I think, you know, that's great news for Wrexham. And you're right, the owners look like they're really engaging with the people. I believe they stuck some money into a charity for some lad the minute they walk through the door. You know, I think, I'll just mention that. I know we were saying about West Ham, but some owners are good. We know Leicester's owners are fantastic. The new lad who's coming at West Ham, he walked through the door and he stuck 10 grand in the Isle of Caton fund straight away.
Brilliant.
You know, and so there are good people. We on this show we do knock them, right? We do knock them, but we're knocking the shit owners. We know there are good owners out there, and we know there's a lot of good work being done by a lot of good people. But there's also a lot of bad people in football because of the money. And I'm going to leave this on the table till next week. I don't think the authorities, the FA, they don't check thoroughly enough. They're fit for purpose anymore. You know, all these dodgy owners. I was always under the understanding there is certain criteria that you must meet to own a football club.
Gary, if you wanted to put 10 grand cash in the bank tomorrow, right, you couldn't do it. They're coming over here, they're spending £500 million, and no one's asked where the money's come from. Hang on. So,
I know. Alan, you've been brilliant, mate. I'll take it. You'll be happy to come on again. You've been great. We've really enjoyed having you on.
Nice to see you, Dan.
And you, mate.
We'll catch up and we'll get the Awayday Apparel competition going, and we'll obviously that's great, and we will also look at getting the 10% thing sorted out for people. Remember that, folks. 10%.
If anyone goes on the website, the discount code is the word "popper" in capital letters.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and you can have it as well. So that's good. The great news is a website will be, and it's going to be a cracking website, isn't it, Dan?
Really exciting.
It's going to be a fantastic website. We're really excited. You know, we're hoping that will be out at some point early March. A lot of work going into that at the moment, and it will take us to another level as a show and as a platform for proper football. Everyone watching, thank you very much. Everyone who's going to watch, if it's not Thursday between 7:30 and 9, don't put any comments up for us to read because it's not live anymore. You can put comments up, but don't think that we're live if you're watching it tomorrow afternoon. But we hope you enjoy the show.
Hey, Gar, when you finish as well, sorry to interrupt, ITV, one of your heroes is on now. Johnny Barnes.
Yeah. He went to Liverpool,
Let it go, girl.
Right, we're going to leave it there, folks. Thank you very much for listening. As always, have a look at all our pages. We put a lot of content on all through the week. Not long now, and there'll be a fantastic website. We'll be back next Thursday with Nigel Callaghan ex-Watford, Villa, Derby, and England under 21. And we will talk Derby on that occasion as well. But we'll meet Nigel next week. Show Alan. Hopefully you'll be back with us soon. It's been an absolute pleasure. Good luck for the FA Cup game against Liverpool. And Dan, until we talk again, which will probably be in about 5 minutes. Okay. We hope Simon will now turn us off. And thank you all for watching. Good night and be safe. Be safe. Alan.